Hey there, I'm Steve, and welcome to Jamson Entertainment. And welcome to the conversation. Just before we get started, there are many ways you can help. You can like and subscribe so you never miss the conversation. But most importantly, please share this video. Get the word out there as a community. We can talk about all things that we love. Today on Throwback Thursday, we're looking at Godzilla, the King of the Monsters. The original one, which it really is just the original Godzilla reworked with new footage for the American version. In addition to the actors of the original Godzilla, you also have Raymond Burr and Frank Iwanaga. So, director Terry Morse says teamed up with director Ishiro Honda. I'm not sure how true that is, because they are just using like 95% of the footage from the original movie. So it doesn't play out exactly the same way. In the original, it opens up with sailors on a fishing boat, and they see a big flash. From there, it starts the what's going on business. But in this one, it starts closer to the end with Steve Martin. No, and I wish it was. That's just the character's name that Raymond Burr's playing. He's injured in the Godzilla attack. A lot of this is narrated by this character, which works and doesn't work. So he's explaining what happens and then goes back to the beginning with the opening I just told you about, and how Steve is a reporter in Japan, and he was supposed to be heading out, but this disaster happened, which is keeping him there, and plus he wants to get the story of the century. This is my second time watching this. The first time watching it and this time, I have the same issues with it. And it has to deal with the fact that this is reused footage from the Japanese version, and it's the same characters. Even though these same characters and in other scenes, other characters are speaking Japanese, they at one point start dubbing English for the characters, which surprisingly isn't that bad of a dub, but the voice actors for this redubbing are pretty bad. I'm not convinced of a word they're saying. They're just there to collect a paycheck, and I kind of feel that's Raymond Burr's mentality too. I mean, it also could be bad directing, but he's just so one note throughout the entire movie, and it's a little jarring when the Japanese actors and characters go back and forth between Japanese and English. Doesn't happen that often, but it will happen in the same scene. And I think this is just laziness, or really just saving money. But how much money are you really saving on single words? So they'll keep simple words like yes and no in Japanese, and then for more complex sentences, it'll be dubbed in English. It's really goofy, and I can't take this version of Godzilla seriously. It is interesting, the parts of the movie that are new to the original Godzilla, how they did put Raymond Burr into this movie. There are scenes with the Japanese actors, and I'm going to put that in air quotes, and Steve in the same scene together, but it's just someone else filmed from behind, so you can't see the face, because obviously they didn't get the original actors to come in for this version. So it is just really goofy when it's obviously not the same actor that the character Steve is talking to. But other than that, this movie is still enjoyable. I will always enjoy seeing Godzilla destroy a city. It's always fun. Aside from Steve, who's reporting on the incident, the rest of the movie plays out exactly like the original. One thing I did forget to mention in that review, I'm relatively certain that not all the scenes with Godzilla is a guy in a suit. I think there was a sock puppet as well. Sock puppet. Hand puppet. Because there's a noticeable visual difference between some of the close-ups of a Godzilla and some of the more full body shots of a Godzilla. As far as recommending this movie, I recommend you catch this one on streaming, because the original is just superior. I only happen to have both because every once in a while I think I'm buying one movie and I'm actually getting two movies. Much like next week's movie, Gamera, I thought I was only getting the original movie. Apparently I bought 4 movies. So stay tuned for that. Those are my thoughts on Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and live your imagination.